Okay. All right. So you're welcome to today's live training session. Today is the 21st, 21st of June, 2025. Yep. So if you have any questions, anything that you want me to speak about, just you can drop it in the chat right now so that you can treat it. Otherwise, I'll just go ahead with what I plan to discuss today. So if you have anything you want me to clarify or talk about, just drop it in the chat right now. Welcome everyone. It's good to have you here. Promises to be an amazing 1 hour well spent. Greetings, Madam Bola. Greetings, Edem. Greetings, Emerald. Greetings, Mr. Success. And greetings, Jane. Good to have you here. All right. So if you have any questions, I'll just give you a minute to type it in the chat. If not, I'll just go ahead and proceed. All right. Hi, Laura. Good to have you here finally. Okay, so I don't see anything in the chat yet, so I'll just go ahead and I'll just go ahead with what I plan to talk about. So I'll start with the chat. So first of all, if you can see my screen, if you can hear me clearly, let me just check my tech. If you can see my screen, you can hear me clearly. And if you can see me, please type a 1 in the chat box so that I'm sure that my tech is great. Before I proceed, if you can see my screen, if you can hear me clearly, and then you can see me. Thank you so much, Laura. All right, great. So just go right into it. So someone was asking of alerts when I dropped it in the group that what does it mean? What's it used for? So an alert, basically, it's like the name implies, it just notifies you. So TradeLocker has this feature that, I don't advise that you sleep on the charts. You place a trade, you're always looking at it, always looking at it, always looking at it. That okay, it's buying, it's buying, it's buying. Oh, it's selling, it's selling, it's selling. Should I close now? Should I leave it? It's heading to my stop loss. So it's not good trading culture. The best way is to just place your trade, do proper analysis, place your trade. If it hits your stop loss, fine. If it gets to your take profits, all well and good. That is the proper way of trading. But I know, it's a journey for all of us, right? You might not have gotten there in your journey yet. So just allow yourself grow and allow your confidence grow. So with time, you'll be able to have better trading culture. So an alert, basically, it helps you to build a good trading culture. So you know how with the way I trade NAS, I tell you that every take profit, TP1 is 500 pips or 5,000 ticks above your entry price or below your entry price if it is a sell, all right, or 500 pips away from your entry price. TP2 is 1,000 pips away from your entry price. TP3 is 1,500 pips away from your entry price. And then TP4, which usually is the last TP I normally use, is 2,000 pips from your entry price. So, and I don't recommend that you do multiple positions, right? I only do one position, using proper risk management, okay, so that you can trade responsibly. So what you can use an alert for is once you place your or open your position, and I send you the screenshot on the group, it puts in the parameters and everything. Your entry price is there, your stop loss is there, but you only have one TP you can place, which I recommend you use the last TP, which is 2,000 pips away from the entry, right? That's 200 points, or also 20,000 ticks, because you'll see ticks on TradeLocker. That's 20,000 ticks on TradeLocker. So once you put that, you can now use the alert feature right, to place an alert at TP1, at TP2, at TP3, right? Such that, let's say you're doing something, okay, and price gets to that point, or maybe your TP1, for example, the alerts will just come up. If your phone sound system notification is on and your phone is not on silent, you've not muted notifications and everything from Trade Locker, you have the sound feature, you get a sound, and then you see the notification that price alerts triggered. Okay, that means the price has gotten to that point that you put the alert. So for the person that asked the question, right, that's just one of the ways to use the alert feature. Another way to use it, we play off of session liquidity, right, using Asian high and Asian low, because Liberty strategy is one of the strategies I use to trade NAS, right? So you see that every day I send the figures for the Asian high and Asian low on Trade Locker. Why? Because the Asian high and the price on Trading View, like I always say, and Trade Locker for NAS varies, because of the different brokers. Like you can see, the closing price for NAS on Friday on this is Trading View is 21665.30, right? Just take note of this number, 21665.30. But if you go to Trade Locker, you see 21656.55. You can see there's a difference. So that is why I like to, the things I use primarily for my decision making for opening positions and closing positions, which is, for example, Asian high, because I trade the Liberty strategy. Someone asking a question, please mute if you're not speaking or asking a question. Okay, let me see the chats. I see. Okay, nothing. If you have any questions, please feel free to raise your hand or just drop it in the chat. Please feel very free. So I was talking about the alert. So you can also place an alert at this Asian high and Asian low, okay, just to notify you that, oh, price has crossed Asian high or price has touched Asian high, okay. Get ready to decide whether you buy or sell. Oh, price has crossed Asian low. Get ready to decide whether you buy or sell, right? So that is another way to use the alert feature instead of you nurturing a very, very bad habit, which is to always sleep on the charts. Like you can't do any, there's a thin line between you saying you're a trader and you being addicted to trading, right? I wouldn't want you to be addicted to trading whereby everything in your head, everything in your mind is, oh, the charts, the charts, the charts, the charts. You just have to keep looking at the charts, thinking about how you can pass your challenge, and it affects every other thing of your life or every other ramification of your life. That's not a good thing, right? So it's good to deliberately have a good trading culture, which is why it's not good for you to just keep looking at the chart. You place a trade and you cannot just leave it without looking at it. Every single move is like you're watching it. Whether you watch it or not, or you don't watch it, the price will still do what it's wanted to do, right? So that is why it is more important for you to understand patterns, understudy patterns. Like I always say, the market, the people behind it, the market makers, they are human beings, and human beings by design are created to repeat behaviors, they're created to repeat patterns. So it's the wise thing for you to is go to your trading view and do what is called backtesting. Just look at the charts, right? You can use weekends like this, maybe when you're less busy. Okay, you can take 1 hour. 1 hour is fine, okay, of study, because it's study and research, right? Just go back and look at, okay, what happened? What happened with NASDAQ? Okay, with NAS. What happened here? Why did it happen like this? Okay, can I identify a particular pattern when the New York Stock Exchange opens? Is there a pattern that I can maybe try out? Is it repeated enough, for me to, because you will definitely identify pattern. You will. That's just a game of trading. You will definitely identify pattern. So I just thought to get out of the way. The person that asked about alerts, right? That is what an alert is used for, right? So many other things. It's just to help you. And let me show you how to do it. So right here, if you're using your PC, like I'm using right now, and like you can see, you see this crosshair that goes along with your mouse. If you look at the y-axis, that's this horizontal axis, right? You see that there's a price that follows my mouse. Okay, you can see how it's moving. So let's say I want to place an alert at Asian high for yesterday. So Asian high was 21694.75. Okay, for me to be more precise and accurate, I would expand it very much so that I can get the exact figure. So my goal is to get the exact figure now. So I want to place an alert at 21694.75. This is a practical example of how to use the alert feature, on Trade Locker. So I want to put an alert there, 21694.75, 21694.7. Okay, this is giving me 73. From 73, see, it jumped to 77. So it's not giving me the 75 I'm looking for. I'll still expand this more to just get more precision. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay, this is really simple. Anybody can do this. Good. Can you see I've gotten 75 now? So this is precision and accuracy. Did you see what I did? I just clicked on alert and then it will automatically activate an alert for me there. Can you see this? Price alert created. Price alert is now active for NAS at 21694.75. You can see it. There's an alert at that point. So what that means is that whenever price gets to that point, I'll get a notification, whether it's on my phone or my PC. So it will just tell me that, okay, it's time to come and look at the charts, so that you now know when exactly it is for you to look at the chart, because you want to take a decision. Maybe it's a support level. Another use of the alerts is at support levels or resistance levels. Okay, let's say you've placed a trade and it's close to a resistance level, like the trade we placed yesterday. Let me show you one of the fantastic trades that we placed yesterday. And this is how you can remove the alert. You just close the alert here, and you see it on the left side. Is someone saying something? I see someone unmuted. Please, if you don't have a question, please, is that a hand? No hand. If you don't have a question, please mute. Please train on this AH and AL again. I still don't know how to get it. Maybe because I don't know how to draw the trend lines. Okay, thank you. Okay, AH and AL. All right. So that's it about alerts, basically. All right. Now, before I go to AH and AL, I just wanted to do a review of those trades that we took yesterday that were really fantastic, right? So this is one of the reasons why I love trading NAS, is that if you have noticed on Wednesday and Thursday, we hit a couple of stop losses, right? And I'm sure some people might have been worried that, what's going on? See that our analysis is not working again, but with the whole news, fundamentals here and there, NAS was really choppy on Wednesday, I think Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, which is very, very unlike those days, because those are the really good days for trading NAS. But there was a lot of manipulation and we were just hitting stop losses here and there. We hit a couple of stop losses, But yesterday, you'd have noticed that we had two trades that I called that hit full TP, 2,000 pips, two of them. That's 4,000 pips in one day. You see, that's a beautiful thing about NASDAQ, and that's why I love trading it. If you just focus and understand how NAS is, you really don't need to know how to trade any other thing again. It is. I'm not saying you should not trade any. I'm just speaking from a personal point of view, right? So you could see that from those two trades, yeah, you would have recovered all. I've not collated the reports of the results for the week yet, but I'm almost certain that it will still be a profitable week, because I shared my results from the accounts I'm managing, and I could still see that despite the number of stop losses we hit in the week, I still closed with more than 1% on all the accounts I was trading, which is very good. Some banks will not give you 1% in a whole month, but glory be to God, we were still able to. I was able to achieve over one. At least there were accounts that were more than 1% and all of that though. But at least, and that's a beautiful thing about Nasdaq. If you just stick to it, be disciplined. See, guys, don't chase the market. Don't do things like, oh, this I'm seeing green candles, oh, and I placed the sell, it's selling, it's selling. Just wait, man. No, just make sure you understand strategies, smart money concepts, the concept of supply, demand, support zones, resistance zones, liberty strategy, these SMA lines I taught you about, liquidity, fair value gaps, imbalances. That's all you really need to know, right? Those two trades, I'm going to analyze them immediately right now. The first one was using the 100 SMA on the 4-hour time frame. I'm going to show you right now. That was what I did. I called 3 alerts yesterday. The first one, very early when I woke up, hit stop loss just because I didn't get a very good entry that I sent to you guys. But I was able to get a better entry on another account that I was trading, and then that one later went for full TP. All right. But I still recorded it as a loss because that's what I sent out to the group, So the first one was using the SMA lines, which I'm going to show. And then the second one was just simple support and demand. Very, very simple. Simple support and demand, coupled with the play of the New York open price I showed you guys. So quickly, let me just review those two trades. So remember these SMA lines that I taught you guys. If it's still strange to you, go back to my previous recorded sessions and watch them on how to place these 4 SMA lines. There are 4: white, blue, yellow, and red. How to place them. They are not exponential moving averages, right? They're simple moving averages, SMAs, okay? There's SMA 10, there's SMA 20, there's SMA 50, and SMA 100. Those are the ones I use, okay? Just go back to my previous recorded sessions and watch, the video on how to place them on your trade locker and what they are used for and how to use them. So the most important one out of all of them, and I symbolize it with red, and that's the SMA 100 because that's the strongest one that influences price very well. Okay, SMA 100. And I said that's the most important one, that's the strongest one. And then the higher the time frame, the stronger the influence of all the lines, most especially the red one, right? So if you go to the 4-hour time frame, I'm giving you analysis of the 2 trades that we took yesterday, or the 3 of them, and why they hit stop loss and why the other 2 won. Okay, so yesterday was here, right here. Let me zoom this in. It's going to be messed up. Let me see if I can do this. Okay. So yesterday was right here. Let me do something interesting. Okay, so that I just carry everybody along. So there's this zone feature.
Sorry to bother you. Sorry to cut in,
Yeah,
please. Can you? Sorry to cut in, please. You said
go ahead,
the SMA 100 is. You said the SMA 100 is the red one and is the strongest of them all. Please, can you just tell us about the other ones? And the one maybe we're not taking notes.
Okay. I don't know if time will be able to. I'll have time to do that. Right. What I'll just advise is that you just go watch the recording, but I'll just highlight it. I just want to touch on the 3 trades and the reasons behind them, and then I'll talk about the Asian high and Asian low. That's even more than enough to cover the remaining time we have left. So I'll just urge you to watch the recording for the other ones. The most important of all of them is the red one, anyways. So it's, if you can understand that red one alone, you're very good. You're fine. So this is the 4 hour time frame. I just zoomed in on the candle so you can really understand the play, right? So yesterday happened here on this candle where you see this pointer, right? So I woke up. You see this is a 4 hour candle. It closed by 3 a.m. So I was asleep, right? So when I woke up, I saw this, I saw this candle. And remember, I said the red, which is 100 SMA, is the strongest. And if you see weak rejection, so prior to, please mute if you're not asking a question, please, thank you. So prior to yesterday, if you check the 4 hour time frame, because I'm zoomed in, I can't go in. If you check the 4 hour time frame, okay, let me see if I can do that on trading view. 4 hour. So looking at this, right? Looking at this is trading view on the 4 hour time frame, right? Looking at this now, let me even test your eyes. Looking at this, guys, what would you say? Would you say this is a bullish trend or bearish trend? Please type it in the chat. Looking at this right now, this is the 4 hour time frame on trading view. Would you say this is a bullish trend or bearish trend? Please type your answer. We're all learning quickly on the chat box right now. Bullish trend or bearish? If it's bullish, type bullish. If it's bearish, type bearish. Don't go and say because everybody's typing bearish, you type bearish, or because everybody's typing bullish, you type bullish. Please, we're learning. It's very, very important to me that you understand this thing by yourself. So looking at this right now, which is bullish or bearish? This is a 4 hour time frame. Right. Let me see the chart. Bullish, 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 bullish. Okay, nobody thinks it's bearish. Please, though, if you think it's bearish, we're learning. Please, don't be shy. Please, this is how learning is done. Bullish because green all over. Okay, thank you. Okay, it's actually not bullish because it's green all over. It's bullish because you see that it is moving up. There's no green all over. There are red candle here, obviously, right? But it's bullish because you can see the trend. It is going upward. It's in an upward direction. Can you see it? Right? And how you identify a bullish trend is you see, let's say, starting from right here. Okay, you see a higher high, a higher low, another higher high. You see higher highs, higher lows, right? So once you see that, you just know that it is higher highs, higher lows, like that. Okay. So that is one of the uses of the higher time frames, like the daily time frame, the 4 hour time frame, to identify trends. So you see that what I was saying was, prior to yesterday was a very bullish trend until it got to this point. You can see that this point here, right? You know, there was a little change of character, okay, because this was the last low, okay, which was almost the same as this one, but this one came lower. So it could mean that, okay, is this a possible reversal, to the downside? Because all along been enjoying plenty buys. If you notice, for those of us that have been around the community for a longer time, you'll have noticed for the last 2 weeks now, we'll be calling more of buys than sells. Okay, we call it more of buys because you want to go with the trend. The trend is your friend, right? So you want to be going with buys if you see that as a bullish trend, like you can see, obviously, right? So you can see here that it's just yesterday that this thing happened. So back to that is exactly what you see here. So when I woke up, I saw that it bounced off, 2 times like this. It bounced off of this red line, the 100 SMA, on the 4 hour time frame, and that is a very high probability setup. But the issue is now placing of your stop loss, because this is a 4-hour time frame. Our 500 pips stop loss might not be adequate, especially if you got an entry maybe somewhere here or something around here. So when I saw this weak rejection, this candle had already closed by the time I was awake, and then I saw this also rejecting again, right? So that was when I now called for a buy. The first one I called for a buy, and then we went for a buy. Okay, no, I think it was here. It was here. Sorry, it was on this candle. When I woke up, I called for the first buy. Yes, the first buy. I saw this candle with this weak rejection. So remember, our strategy with these SMA lines is, if you identify weak rejections like this, okay, like this one right here, okay, this weak rejection, you want to go in that direction. So you can see buyer pressure push the price away. So it looked as if it wanted to break and continue downwards, but buyers pushed it away from this line. All right, so that line served as a support in that scenario. So I called for a buy, but when this other candle opened, it pushed down a bit and hit our stop loss. So that was why the first one hit our stop loss from where we entered. I think we entered somewhere around this point. Okay, so this is a 4-hour time frame. The stop loss won't be so far because it's a 4-hour time frame. Okay, so it hit our stop loss, which is fine. Remember, number one, never place a trade without putting a stop loss, because the only thing that is guaranteed in trading, the single only thing that is guaranteed in trading is your stop loss, right? That is the only guaranteed thing. Your take profit is not guaranteed. So never open a trade and say, no, don't worry, I've seen this before. I know. Make sure you apply proper risk management, RSC. I always say it every time I send a trade idea. Risk secure targets. Total risk for the day should not be more than 0.5% of your account. It should never. Total risk for the day should not be more than 0.5% on your account. You can now divide that into the number of trades you want to take, whether it's 0.25% per trade or 0.1 per trade. If it's 0.1, you're taking 5 trades, for that day, depending on whether you hit your target for the day, So that's RST. So the first one hit our stop loss. And then I saw this candle again on the 4-hour time frame. It was rejecting off of here. Before the candle formed though, it was rejecting. And I called for another. It was lower than where we entered for the first time. And I saw it rejecting again. And I said, okay, let's go for it again. And we went for it, and then it went all the way. That was the second one. So this was the play, 4-hour time frame play. I use weak rejections off. If you can see 2 weak rejections, that tells you that buyers are really telling you that, this place, don't come near here. We're in charge here. Be going. You understand? Be going up. Sellers came, they pushed them back 2 good times, right? So it shows strong buyer pressure, which is why I went for it again at a better entry. If you look, the entry of the second trade idea was lower, the price was lower than the first one, and then it went all the way, to hit our full TP, right? To hit our full TP. Now let me remove this zone to hit our full TP. Now, that was the first trade idea. Now the second one was off the New York open price play. So you see, I'm back at the 5-minute time frame. Okay, I'm back at the 5-minute time frame. Let me see if there's anybody saying anything. Bullish and creating new higher high. Yeah, fantastic. Yes, now it's bearish, lower high and lower lows. Yeah. Good. So it looks like it was shifting. That was nice. So that was the idea behind the second trade idea. Now, the third one that also went for our full take profits. Let me now explain the idea behind it. Now, I told you guys that what I do um when I wake up, every morning also is just to mark key levels. Okay, key levels. What are my key levels? Asian high, Asian low, and then I want to mark support zones and resistance zones, and I do that on the daily time frame, most especially daily, maybe sometimes 4 hours, but most essentially the daily time frame. So let's go to the daily time frame and I'll show you. You'll see some red lines. Please pardon the fact that you can see many lines, and just bear with me. Let me see how I'll make this as clear as possible. Okay, now this is a daily time frame, right? You see many red lines. This is where price is currently here. This is where the market closed. Okay, this is where price is. All right, you notice that I placed a line here. Madam Kaite, how to place this line is just to come here, this 2 bar. Okay, this 2 bar, the second one here, you click on this trend line tool. It's not a trend line, it's just a a horizontal line. You just click on this horizontal line and it will put this line that you see. You can also use it for your Asian high and Asian low, which is exactly what I do here. Just change the color so that you're able to differentiate it. So that's how to set the line. It's not a trend line, it's just a horizontal line. So I just thought to chip that in. So I put a line here. Why? Because this is a very strong resistance. In fact, this is the all-time high for NAS. How did I get it? If this is the daily time frame, remember, you can see this point. This is the highest point that NAS got to. It happened on the 18th of February. You can see it right here. This is the highest point. So I put a line there. Why? Remember, I told you that human being behaviors, they repeat their patterns. So it means that when price gets here, I'm almost too sure that price will react. Almost, because when it got close to that point before in the past, it's reacted. But since it has taken away this liquidity, there's still more liquidity. Whenever you see any point where price reverses drastically, what that means is that, for example, this thing is really simple. Once you're able to start seeing the market like this, trading will be a lot easier for you. Remember, the higher the time frames, yes, human repeat behavior. Thank you, Ethan. So the higher the time frame, the stronger the probability of your plays or the price action you're seeing, the market structure. So right now I'm on the daily time frame, and price reversed on this day, 18th of December. You can see how buyers were in charge. Follow me, guys. Buyers were in charge, they were buying, market was buying, and it got to this point and dropped drastically. What does that mean? Think of it as you. What happened here? There were many sellers here. They placed so many sell orders. The market makers, banks, hedge funds, and what have you. They placed so many sell orders such that it pushed the price down. What does that tell you? It means you have stop losses around here. Are you following my drift? You have stop losses around here, or some of them might have broken even and they said break even. What does that tell you? There's money. There's money here. Okay, or stop losses, or maybe some of them entered here and they have their stop losses here, or they set break even. There's money here, right? So that's what they call liquidity. Liquidity is liquid money, money that you can handle, that is liquid, literally. Okay, so when you say liquidity, it means where is money hanging? That is the goal of trading. Trading is just all about looking for stop loss, because as we hit 2000 pips 2 times yesterday, full TP 2 times. Do you know that that money that each of us collected, we collected it from people's stop losses? Some people thought that the market will sell when we bought off that 4 hour time frame, and we took their stop loss. All right. The first one that hit our own stop loss, where we bought, some people sold in that small time frame, and they collected our own stop loss. That's just the game of trading. It's all about looking for where people place their stop loss. You understand? That is what trading is all about. So you see this place here, you see this place here. These are resistance zones. So I mark up resistance zone that price has not yet gotten to. You get it, which tells me that if my trade is coming to that direction, whether I'm in the trade or price is coming to that direction, I want to take caution. You understand? So this is another resistance zone. Why is it resistance? It's resistance if it is above where price currently is, and then if it's a support zone if it's below where price currently is. So this is how I mark the chart. Resistance zones. This is one. This is another one. Excuse me. So anyway, you just see these weak rejections. Okay, I didn't put anyone here yet because this was just for yesterday. So by Monday, I'll move this one here because if you look at this, let me zoom in. If you look at this, you see that I placed it here before, right? You get it, but price went down and now came back up to that place. You can see it took away liquidity. So in trading terms, we'll say they grab liquidity. Okay, this is called liquidity grab. Simple English, they took people's stop losses, they took people's money. Right, buyers took money from sellers. That's what trading is, right? And guess what? Because price dropped drastically in the future when it got here, the same thing happened here. Around here, it just took the money first before now dropping. Do you see? This is called smart money concept. There's really no big deal in all of these terminologies, and you can understand it. Trust me, it's as simple as going to buy tomato in the market. Right? So this is what they call smart money concept, right? Price came, took people's money from sellers, which is liquidity, and just because human beings repeat behaviors, it still dropped. Price still later dropped after grabbing liquidity. So we were part of the liquidity grabbers. We went in for buys. You remember, if you check the charts, when price was almost getting here, I said these points. Go and check the WhatsApp chat. You see, I said 21684.65 is a very, very strong resistance zone. Please, and I put the caution and smiley. Right? And true to my word, it just moved. Thankfully, our full TP was just a little bit above our resistance zone, right? It was just a little bit above, so it hit our full TP, just like God answered our prayers, and it just dropped immediately. So it's just that I forgot. I would have told you to place a sell or a pending sell. So this is another trick, another strategy. It doesn't work every time, just like every other strategy, guys. There is no strategy that is foolproof, or how do they say that English again? That is 100%. It might work, might not work. It's all good. It's just a game of trading. The markets will decide, right? So you can see from these points, depending on how strong it is, you can place pending orders. You can place, like now, this is where price is. Can place a pending sell here, 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 can also place a pending buy here, can place a pending buy here. But these ones are close to each other, so maybe you can maybe, I don't know, whichever one. Price might react to any of them, or it might not even react at all, but most likely will. Can place a pending buy here, because these are strong support zones. You can see them. Price, sellers, buyers pursued sellers from this point. You can see it. Same thing here. You can see it. Same thing here. You can see it. Same thing here. So go back your assignments. Just go back. Look at the daily time frame and see if you can identify the support and resistance zones. It will really help you in your trading and the general outlook of things. So for that sell order, I had this. So this is the daily time frame. You can see this one here. Let me now come back to the 5-minute time frame. So when the New York Stock Exchange opened, price was almost at we're like 1,500 pips in profit already, right? And it was almost at our full CP. So I'm just putting you through the trade idea, the last trade idea I called on Friday, which hit our full TP, and why I called it. So that the goal is for you to be able to see these things yourself too. If you notice, Angela will say, "Oh, I see a Liberty sell." Why? Because she's learning. She was actually my first student, right? So she has put in many reps of learning from me and everything. So that's why I will tell her, "Yes, you're right. Go for it." You understand? So she's beginning to see those same things. So you can see it too. Just appreciate your journey and go along with it. So like you can see, look at what happened here, guys. That sell idea, look at what just exactly what happened here. Look at this place, right? If you look here, you see this is almost like a doji candle, which signifies reversal. You can see price came, broke through that very strong resistance zone, right? Took away liquidity, that's money from the sellers from when this point happened in the past, right? And now still finally respected. Sometimes it might touch it and leave a weak rejection and go down. Sometimes, like this one, it will break above small and now stay. So if you see, if you place the if you place the pending sell from here, so this is an example of where the pending sell might work very well. So if you place the pending sell from here, let me just calculate it. Pending sell from here. Oh shit. Oh, let me just calculate how many pips that would have been. Place the pending sell from here and it got here. Can imagine that's 3,131 pips, right? Massive. So that's just another way of taking trades. If you place a pending sell, because this will not have hit your stop loss. No, it will not have hit your stop loss because 500 pips is still somewhere around here. Yes, somewhere around here. Yes, this is where 500 pips is here. So you see, so I've not hit your stop loss and I've still gone well. So why I took, I'm showing you the idea. I saw this candle number one. Why I called that sell? I called the sell somewhere around here. Even though I was late, to the party, but it still worked out well for us. Thank God. I saw this candle on the 5 minute time frame. Then I saw that this was a strong resistance point. Okay, price was respecting it. It broke and closed below it, right? Then my final confirmation was this New York open price. Remember, I said a strategy that I've seen happen over time from backtesting. If price opens on New York open and it goes a particular direction, right, and then it now comes back and breaks and closes either below or above. So, for example, if price opens like it opened yesterday and it was buying and then it reversed and then closed, I'm on the 5 minute time frame. It broke and closed that New York open price. I've shown how to put this New York open price on your trade locker. You can watch my previous videos also. It broke and closed here, right? You want to go in for a sell from here, right? Which played out fantastically. So this was my third confirmation. So I should have called the sell from here, but I think I called it somewhere around here. I was late. I think I was doing something. So when I now opened my chart and I saw it, I was like, what? It's a very fantastic sale. Let's go for it, which is why I call that trade idea. Right. So I hope that is clear. Do you have any questions on what I've spoken about before I go into Asian high and Asian low? Madam, is that this question? Do you use the 200 SMA? No, we've spoken about this, Mr. Wale. I don't. Uh, yeah, I don't use 200 SMA. What I use is 10, 20, 50, and 100. I don't use 200. So people have different strategies. I just use what I'm used to and what I have back tested. So you sir also discover something yourself. Go and back test something. Look at the charts. Do Sorry, everyone. Had some tech issues. Um, please confirm if you can hear me. Okay. Please confirm if you can hear me. You can unmute and just let me know so that I'm sure that.
Yes,
Can someone just
yes,
unmute and let me know if you can hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. Thank you so much.
I can hear you.
All right. So let's go over to the. Yes. Thank you. Um, Asian high and Asian low. Let me just let me
There's
see
a
it.
question in the chat room for you.
I'm trying to share my screen and open trading view my system. So for the Asian high and Asian low, how to set it up on Trade Locker? It's really simple. So first of all, you go to your
Hello,
trading
sorry.
view,
We are not
right? Go
seeing your screen, oh.
Hello, sorry.
See your screen.
Hello, sorry, please. Hello, sorry, please. Before
someone
we
saying
go to the
something.
Liberty strategy, can I speak?
So you go to I know. Yes, ma'am.
Can I speak, please?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead,
Okay.
ma'am.
Sorry to bring you back
Yes,
with
go ahead,
this
ma'am.
one that we've just looked about as based on previous performance. And I just want to ask because I know one of the reasons why I was going in and out during that session was because I was wondering if it would respect Asian high and Asian low. Because if you look at that chart around that period, around that area, there is
Mm.
a deep pullback. So my thought then
Pull
was
back.
that it's going
Asian.
to. It was around that Asian high when it was coming
Yes, I
down.
can see
My
it.
thought was like maybe it's respecting it or something, and that was one of the reasons I pulled out initially before I then went to buy. Because if you look at it, it will look as if Asian high is trying to buy. Then it's now
Okay.
not knowing that it was just a pullback, and then it now went down again. So I was just now
Okay.
asking from experience, does it respect Asian high or Asian low, or is only when the strategy is pure liberty strategy? Thank you.
Okay, ma. I'm still going to give you the same answer I've always been giving you. And the thing is, there is nothing like, is it always, right? So in trading, there is no word like always. I don't know. I need you to just understand that first. There's nothing like always, right? But I get your point. I get your question, from previous experiences. But I just needed to point out that you should not use the term always. Like, is it always going to respect Asian high? It will not. It would not always, because sorry. So it will not always respect Asian high, right? But sometimes it might. The market will still decide. So it's just for you to do this. You see Liberty strategy activate, you go for it. If it hits your stop, maybe you want to look and see, okay, is there maybe supply and demand, why this thing did not go well, right? Even if you don't see anything or any reason why, the market will still decide whatever it wants to do. right? So there's really nothing like, is it always, if you see your strategy, if you see confluences, please, by all means, go for it. Use proper risk management such that if it's going to hit your stop loss, you won't feel bad. Remember, I keep saying that if you place a trade and it hits your stop loss and is a very huge loss and it's paining you, you definitely over leverage. If you place a trade and you cannot leave that trade and go and do something else, it means you are over leveraging because you are afraid. It's affecting your emotions, it's affecting your heart. Your heart is racing when it's not going your way. It's just a trade, right? If you use proper risk management and you leverage proper lot size, you risk the responsible amount percentage of your account for that trade following RST. Even if you hit your stop loss, guess what? Trades that same yesterday on some accounts I was trading hits my stop loss also, right? But at the end of the day, it was a profitable day. So that's trading for you. You can never avoid stop loss. Never. It's not possible. It's impossible for you to avoid hitting stop loss. So I hope that answers that question. So moving on for the so I was speaking about Asian high and Asian low. On your trading view, you will see there are two indicators we use. There is the first one. So you go to um
Are you sharing screen with us? Because we're not seeing your screen.
I'm not sharing yet. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, let me share my screen right now. I'll just switch into my PC. Can you see my screen now? Please unmute and let me know.
I can see. I hope
Yeah,
others
yeah,
can
we're
see.
seeing.
Beautiful, thank you. So now, Madam Kate, how do I put Asian high and Asian low? So this is Trading View, right? Tradingview.com, right? I'm on the 5 minute time frame. You go to indicators here, yeah, and you search for Asian range by Nico 948. I have it saved as my favorite. That's why it's showing here. But if you will not have it if you've not put in it. So Asian range by Nico 948. You search for it and you click on it once. Just click on it once and it adds to your chart. So that is this red box you're seeing here. That is the Asian range, the entire Asian session. It just marks it out for you on your charts, which is the session liquidity that we use for the Liberty strategy, right? I hope that is clear. Asian range by Nico 948. Now, how do you translate this to your trade locker? Because the price here is different from that which is on trade locker. I already established that. So let me show you what I did yesterday quickly. Let me erase I think my trade locker is acting funny right now. Let me erase the already set here on please guys go back to watch my previous recordings. All right, so but I still record anyways. um Still waiting for this to come up. All right, so this is what I do basically. Starting from here, right? I want to replicate this red box. I've shown you the indicator that puts this on your trading view. So basically, Liberty strategy is identifying what Asian high is and Asian low. Asian high means the highest points that price got to during the Asian session. So in this entire box, this yellow line up here, that's the highest point. Okay. And then the lowest point, okay, that is the yellow line below. Sorry. Let me see. What happened? Box is back.
So
So, like I was saying,
indicates on daily basis. On daily basis, when you come here, it shows
say
you
that
what
again.
it is for that
Sorry,
day.
say that again.
And so this Asian high Asian low box, it is represented here on daily basis. As you come today, you will
Exactly.
see the one for today.
Exactly, yes. It's every day. Look at now. Every day. If you back test on your chart, you know, you see it. If you back test, you see it. So it's a daily thing. Every single Asian range on Monday now, you see this Asian range form, and that indicator brings up this box for you, right? It will replicate every day. So I want to identify the highest point of price and the lowest point of price within that range and replicate it as horizontal lines on my trade locker. What do I do? Really simple. So this indicator automatically identifies it accurately for me, but I don't have that indicator on my trade locker. So what do I do instead? Simple. I look for the highest points. If you look at this yellow line, you see the highest, these yellow price points. Okay, I think my trading view is also acting up. Let me see. Let me refresh. See. So you just want to basically, while we wait for it to come up, identify the highest point of price, within that range and replicate it on trade locker. Now, if you remember when I was teaching candle anatomy, right? Every candle has a high point, every candle has a low point, every candle has an open price, and every candle has a low price. Yeah. So every candle has a high point. So you see it on any chart, whether it's MT4, MT5, trade locker, trading view, you see some set of numbers on the top left corner. OHLC, OHLC, O with the price, H with the price, L with the price, and price. O stands for open, H stands for high. So basically, those numbers is what you will use to identify the price on trade locker. Let me see if this thing will open on my phone. Give me a moment. Okay, it's looking to open now.
Please, what did you say the O is for?
C is close.
OHL.
O is for open, H is for high, L is for
Okay.
low, and then C is for close. C is for close. Okay. Okay, it's looking to open on my phone. Let me see. Oh, you know what? Let's just maybe I'll use it to open the class tomorrow because it's just not opening and I don't know why. Maybe I'll use it to open the class tomorrow. That's the first thing I would talk about. I'll complete the Asian high and Asian low thing tomorrow by God's grace. Let me see if it will eventually open. Okay. Let me see. Uh, Let me share my phone screen. It looks like that's open on my phone. Mm, no, it's not opening. Let's not waste this time here. So tomorrow, I'll use it to open the class. I'll talk about Asian high and Asian low. First thing tomorrow, God willing. So please and be punctual so you don't miss it. You know I don't do African time. Once it is 4 o'clock UTC plus one, GMT plus one my time, I would start immediately, right? So try as much as possible to be here. Try as much as possible to be here on time tomorrow so that we can just get this out of the way and look at other things. All right, it's past 1 hour already. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow by God's grace. Cheers.
Thank you.